One last one before I embrace the sweet beyond. This video was sent to me, and it's from I don't even remember how this video was sent to me, but it's from a user named Uncle Hotep, and it's called the Great Jab Lottery. So I'm already, I already know I'm not prepared for what we're going to be dealing with today. So before that, let's go ahead and do a bit of a brain cleansing, get some dopamine running in, get a quick hit of serotonin from your local fan art dealer before we continue on with the pain. So, Kitterdoodle, thank you very much for submitting this fan art here. It is from an unforgettable luncheon featuring Suris snacks. And as a 2-for-1, we also have the face here. The text here is that, in regards to my last one, I couldn't draw more than the face since I was at work, and Suris below the face isn't safe for job security. Whatever could you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea at all. Anywho, as always, thank you for your fan art submissions. If you guys want fan art to be featured in a future video, the best way to do so is drop it into the fan art section of the Discord channel. With that said, if you haven't hit the subscribe button or the bell notification icon, maybe now would be a great time to do that. Till then, let's go ahead and see what we have to see here. Alright, I have no idea who this Uncle Hotep character is, so let's see what we have here. At the very least, we could tell that they're a father. Elena Foxy, thank you very much for redeeming your points for an oh whoa. Oh whoa. Okay.
What's good, people? Uncle Hotep back at it again. How y'all doing? Happy Thursday. Hotep Thursday. You know what time it is tonight. Hotep's been told you.
Okay, what is Hotep? What is that? That word is something that I've heard before. I feel like it was mildly offensive or something when I heard it, but I don't know what that word means. So I guess I'll figure that one out.
8 o'clock Shizarp. Fauci Juice Lottery. Great state of Ohio. Shouts out to Mr. Boroff in Lima, Ohio. That's all I know about Ohio, really. Because the governor in Ohio is a new tactic to help get
Alright, so I'm just going to stop that right there for a second. 57 seconds. Nothing has been communicated. I've heard the name Fauci. I've heard the Ohio governor. No other information has yet been communicated. I don't want to disparage anybody who maybe, like, presentation, even if it's just in a car, is not their for the thing that they're able to do very easily, but the hanging on words for extended amounts of time, and I know I do it. I know that I hang on words as I'm trying to gather my thoughts, but it's happening quite a bit.
Help get the people of Ohio their Fauci Juice Lottery. Like every Wednesday for 5 straight Wednesdays, they will pick adults that have at least had their first shot of the Fauci Juice. Give them $1 million. Y'all posted on Normie Book. I was like, imagine getting the Fauci Juice and not even getting a lottery ticket.
Wait. Oh, okay, so you said Ohio. Ohio lottery... Hold on. What's going on here? Ohio lottery for vaccine Ohio's final vaccine... Wait. A lottery-based incentive. So... Ohio Vaccine Lottery gave away 5 million... Okay, let's take a look here. What is this? So the Ohio Vaccine Lottery came in, and it didn't change much at all, I guess? It did increase vaccine rates. They just gave away 5 million for it. I mean, they tried. Props to them for trying. I guess.
Lord have mercy. I'm gonna hold out for real. They gotta put 100,000 in my pocket, man. I'm hold out till they start giving out cash. I gotta hold out till they start giving out cash. I ain't gonna hold out, period. I ain't. How much is it worth? But this is new tactics. I mean, I think Kumo was. I guess they're giving out free fries in New York. They're just coming up with new ways to try to get people to take the Fauci juice.
I keep saying Fauci juice. He knows that there are other people besides Fauci involved in creating a vaccine, right? Right? Am I the only one who's like getting hung up on that?
I mean, what does it say? Some people will point out that, you gotta incentivize American people with money because that's all they believe in. I mean, this is what America's about: getting that bread and getting bread out of other people. But I don't know. I would think in a quote unquote emergency, medical emergency, I don't think you would have to bribe people with French fries, beer, tickets to the
Wait, hold on. So you don't think... Hold on. Wait. So you don't think that in a medical emergency people won't always act rationally? Have you met the human race? No, seriously. Have you done so? Have you met living, breathing people who interact with you on a daily basis? We're idiots. I hate to tell you this, everyone, but for all the faith that I have in the human race that people will get better, the reality is we're all fucking stupid. We are. At the end of the day, we are hundreds of thousands of millions of people who all have hundreds of thousands of millions of micro specializations, and we are fucking idiots when it comes to every single thing outside of the things we specialize in, and even in the things we specialize in. Not everybody's perfect at those either. I hate to give that bit of reality, that dose, and maybe even a booster shot of reality, but people do not act rationally. This is why there's a moral principle that I rely on, and that is that if your moral guideline or your legal law or whatever requires all people to be rational actors, it can and will fail. It can and will fail. And I don't mean to be pessimistic, but I'm a pragmatist. I look at things in terms of practicality and whether or not they are useful. And at the end of the day, trying to pull up incentives, there's two sides to this. On the one hand, if it works, cool. But if the data is showing that it doesn't change vaccine rates, then my concern is that some people might end up waiting for bigger, better incentives for them to get vaccinated, or some shit like that. I've said in previous videos that people do need to be incentivized to get in the vaccine if they are not getting it under other circumstances. But if data is showing that incentives don't work, then I'm out of ideas. I don't know how you convince people who need to get a vaccine to get it when they are so thoroughly convinced they don't need to get it. When they are so thoroughly convinced that it is some kind of conspiratorial jizz that when put into their brain will turn them into a fucking thrall for the Mark of the Beast or some shit. Like, and man, I pull that out of my butt, but I'm pretty sure there is somebody who believes some variant of what I just said. And that saddens me. So, if you want to say that, oh, well, you know, I feel like if it really was a medical emergency, then all people would be rational actors. No, that's not how people work. I wish it's how people worked, but it's not. People are not by and large rational, especially not in groups.
Dollar lottery ticket. I think it would be self-evident. I think people would be lining out the door to get it, you know?
It's already self-evident. We have the numbers for the deaths for COVID. We have data showing long-term effects of COVID, scarring from COVID. We have data showing that there is, at the very least, a difference in transference rate that works in our favor if you get vaccinated. We have numbers for the difference in symptoms that people get if they get vaccinated. We have all that information. We live in the information age. All of this information is available. It is self-evident. You literally just have to use Google. It takes no time. I did this with Officer Tatum. It takes no time to go on a Google Scholar and look up an academic article that actually tells you what you're fucking looking for, and then reading the damn thing. It takes you zero effort. It takes you zero time to just go to Google. Yes, reading the article will take you some time. It will, especially if it's a very, very long study. But the fact of the matter is, the evidence is there. The ability to see these things is there, and it's self-evident because it's in your fucking phone that you carry with you every day. Every second of every day, you have the library of the world in your pocket, and you choose to, instead of using that time to educate yourself and get better and learn how these things work, you are instead using that time to make a video and putting it on your channel, saying how these things probably don't work because of a myriad of circumstances that aren't even connected in a way that you can ascertain, as all conspiracy theorists do. And I'm just sad. Why are we here? Why do we live on planet Green Earth?
I'm saying, like, I don't. This tells me, I don't know. A lot of people just aren't with it. You know, the numbers must be a lot worse than they are. They're giving out. You know what I mean? People just don't have confidence in it. You know, if they were up and truthful about it, then I mean, people, all right, yeah.
Truthful about what? We have, and allow me to scoot myself to the side here, we have data available for you right now on vaccinations in the US, the Pandemic Vulnerability Index, a detailed report for every state on COVID numbers, forecasting for COVID virality, made by epidemiologists. We have a view on every individual county and the number of cases being reported at all times. This is live data. Every number you could possibly want where COVID is concerned is in one of these links. They're all here. All of the information is here. It's all right here. You can tell the races down to the fucking you can tell the rates down to the fucking, like, ethnicity of the people who are contracting. We have very detailed reports. They're all here. They're all accessible. How many times do you have to be a disappointment? It's all here. Who's not being truthful? It's right here.
Like I've told y'all, the POG has, workers that got it. They talking to Jesus right now. Allah, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Y'all seen? There's plenty of people online on Facebook, Twitter, posting stories of people. They're no longer here. Shortly thereafter, they got the joint.
All right. Amongst people who received the COVID vaccine, 310 million doses of COVID vaccines have been administered in the United States from December 14th. Too late. We're going here again. CDC's website. It's all right here. Now there is a 0.0020% of people within the 386 million doses of the vaccine who have died. Okay? Now let's see here. Let's read, you and me, together. Let's do it. Reports of deaths after COVID vaccine are rare. More than 386 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine were administered in the United States through September 2021. During this time, there were received 7,899 reports of death among people who received a COVID vaccine. FDA requires healthcare providers to report any death after COVID vaccine. Any, regardless of why. That's important. Even if it's unclear that the vaccine was the cause. Reports of adverse events following vaccination, including death, do not mean that the vaccine caused the problems. A review of available clinical information, including death certificates, autopsy, and medical records, has not established any causal link to COVID vaccines. Now, there is one exception. Recent reports have indicated a plausible causal relationship between the Johnson & Johnson vaccine variant and a very rare adverse event, blood clots. Specifically with people with low palates already. Okay? And that one has caused deaths. Alright? But even when that's factored in, we have a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent. And of that fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent, a fraction of a fraction of that fraction of a percent is actually likely related. From what I understand, where the blood clots are concerned, what are we at? 20 people in a year? 20 out of 386 million doses of the COVID vaccine in the U.S. alone, mind you. We still only have, what, fucking 20-ish people who've died in the entire fucking world? When there have been many more million cases of the COVID vaccine being administered here? This very, very, very easily meets the criteria for safe medication for your system. You can have... Do you want to know medications that you use every day that have caused deaths? Tylenol. Ibuprofen. Fucking cold medicine. All of these are responsible for deaths. Just... Okay, so, in a year, right? There are 7,000-ish deaths, okay? Related to, or not related to the COVID vaccine, but from people who have been vaccinated. There were 7,000-ish people who have died, regardless of reason, afterwards. 7,000. Now, let's look at ibuprofen. Let's look at a bog standard painkiller you can get over the shelf and you probably used for your back pain yesterday. There are at least 16,000 deaths per year. And sends 100,000 people to the emergency room in the United States from ibuprofen. A painkiller that you can take over the counter. A child can buy it. Really? And you're scared of this vaccine? And you think they're not being truthful about this vaccine? Really? Is there... Why are we here? Why are we having this conversation? Why do we ever have this conversation? Why are we ever here? Why on the internet.com YouTube side of Craziesville do we have this conversation ever? Why? The information? Available. The statistics? Available. The side effects? Known. The research? Public. The numbers? All there. We're just here to suffer. That's all it is. That's it. That's all we have. Look, I want to have faith in humanity. I want to believe that things are going to get better. I really do. I do. I do. But when I see stuff like this, I don't have the ability to do anything more than just gawk and be flabbergasted. And I'm watching this stuff every single day. And all this stuff is very, very easy to research. It doesn't take... Like I said, it doesn't take much of your time. It really doesn't. And I know that people aren't trusting the information that's publicly available to them. That's because none of them know how to actually, like, look up sources. None of them know how to read a paper. Despite, in high school, locally, having, ideally, learning how to build a bibliography, which means at the very least you learned what a source is. Joe Rogan's not a source, Google's not a source, etc. And I know there's so much misinformation, but the misinformation comes from reading improper sources, too. Like, misinformation comes from Joe Rogan's and Alex Jones's and John Doyle's and Call for an Uprising's, Tucker Carlson's. Actual, like, research that can be found online on Google Scholar with citations all available. It's free. The information is free. Please, read. I feel like this is just the Officer Tatum video all over again. Just I'm a little weaker this time. And I'll be a little weaker next time. And eventually, I'll be very weak. It makes me weak. Anywho. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm gonna go eat a brownie. That sounds enjoyable. As always, everyone, insert end of video tagline here. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. If you want access to behind-the-scenes content for the channel, please consider checking out my Patreon. I do weekly vlogs over there, where I give real-life updates to what's going on behind the scenes on the channel, stuff that you don't really get over here, and even on Twitch. Patreon also helps the channel's stability a whole lot. Without Patreon, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. Especially with the kind of content that I do, neither YouTube nor Twitch are the most stable sources of income. If you are a $20 and up patron, then you will be featured on the ending slides as shown in the beginning of the end credits. If you want to catch the streams where all this content comes from, then consider heading over to Twitch and following. And if you want to continue watching over here on YouTube, maybe consider clicking one of the end screen videos. And once again, I want to thank you so much for spending your time with me over on my channel. I wouldn't be able to do literally anything that I'm doing over here on YouTube without each and every one of you. So, thank you.